Welcome technicians. Today we look into how to place the reagent inside our Cobas E411 instrument. Okay. So make sure that instrument is in standby. Now this is very important. Many technicians keep doing these mistakes. See, the instrument is not making any sound or no movement is happening doesn't mean that you can do whatever you want with this instrument, because when will the reagent probe will move, when will the mixer probe will move, those cannot be predicted. Okay, so when you are adding the reagents and all, you have to make sure that instrument is in standby position only. So once the instrument is in standby position, so you can remove the reagent disc cap. Okay, so you just have to rotate it like this. So when you are taking it out, make sure that this area is secured. Okay, now this is very important because many of the times I have seen that here is where the mixer probe is also present. Many of the technicians will touch this cap to the mixer probe, and because of that mixer probe may get bent. Okay, so it's very important that you lift it carefully outside. Once you lift outside, this is how the reagent disc look like. See, as you can see inside this there are some protuberance are present like this. So these are all important. Okay, so when you place this is how the E411 reagents look like. Okay, there may be single reagent like this, like 3 ka, or there may be one more extra like in single one or two one also. Okay, so for vitamin B12, HIV, all these things have double reagents, whereas TROP-T, TSH and all got a single reagent. Now this reagent, when you look at it, so this is the micro bead solution, and these two are the main solutions for the reagent. Okay, and they are always together, they have been kept together, and these caps which are there, they have to be always secured closely. They should be totally closed. Now the common mistakes which many of the laboratory technicians does, or they take it for granted, is they open this cap and then try to place it inside this. Please don't do this. Okay, what you should do, when you are taking it out from the refrigerator, make sure that these reagents are the caps are properly closed. Keep it in its rack and then loosen the caps. So when you are putting the reagent into this E411 reagent disc, you have to loosen these caps, because the instrument will open the cap and close the cap by itself. It has a mechanism to do that. Okay, so when you are placing these reagents, this black colored one should always be inside. Okay, see, this is very important. The black colored ones should always be inside ring, whereas the bead or this white color ones, they should always be outside. In that fashion only it should be kept. And when you see it, you can see that, see, it has got a small hitch here, right? So they should get fitted properly. Okay, so in that way only it will fit. Now this is very important, because when it is trying to open the cap, there is a mechanism and through which it will hold these things, and through that it will open the caps. If that is not followed, that cap gets struck, everything gets struck, and the instrument will stop. Okay, so you have to keep black color inside, the white color outside. Now let us say that for some like HIV and vitamin B12 and all, instead of 3 there is only one single reagent or 2 reagents. All those things will, by thumb rule, they will always sit on the outside part, not in the middle, not inside. Okay, like for example HIV or vitamin D, which has got multiple extra reagents, like apart from the 3 they also have extra 1 or 2. Now those 1 or 2, if it is 1, it will always sit on this end. If it is 2, it will sit on this end, it will never sit on this side. Okay, so this hitch will make sure that, but unfortunately many technicians will keep like that, and then they will look at the sir, something is wrong, like that they will start. So remember thumb of rule. So black is always inside, and if single reagent or double reagent is there, then they will always be on this side of the circle only. Okay, and once you keep the reagent down, then only loosen the cap. And when you are taking the reagent out, first fasten all the caps and then only remove. Make it as a habit. Many times I have seen that with one hand they hold the reagent and then loosen all the caps and try to put, and the reagent falls off, the reagent liquid will come out. Okay, that type of mistake should never be done. It is not a very good practice. Okay, so once you put, you have to put the cap back. So when you're putting the cap back, this straight line you should always look into. See, many times, you know, they try to put it, they don't know where it will fit, you know, they will try to adjust, all these type of nonsense they do. So what you have to do is always remember this straight line, it will always maintain. And see, this is where is the opening and closing mechanism comes, and this is an arrow area where the sensor for the cap is present. So if you direct your cap properly in these two direction and this straight line, you are able to fit the cap without any difficulty. Okay, if you don't fit the cap properly, what is going to happen, the probe, the mixer probe which has to go in this single hole, and the reagent probe which has to take into these small holes, they will not go, they will get stuck and the instrument will not work. Okay, so for that reason you have to make sure about that part. Okay, so once that is done, the instrument will be in standby. You can give a reagent scan. Normally in our setup we don't give a reagent scan, we directly go to start, because every time you from the standby, when the instrument starts, it will always cross checks the reagents, it will cross check the pro cell, clean cell, the cups and tips, everything it cross checks when it comes from standby. Okay, for that purpose we don't give reagent scan. There are some other small technical things are also there why we don't give reagent scan, but the company always recommends that when from the standby, when you're starting the instrument, you should always give a reagent scan. Okay, hope you understood. Thank you.